All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Berserk, episode 22.
Right, we're getting closer to the end.
Yes, Guts and Casca, though, have made love.
They've expressed their feelings for each other.
They have done the sex, and Guts would like to continue doing the sex 1,000 more times.
Such a well-written just declaration of love.
Yes, so true, so true. But that suite that happened, Casca was at the end of her rope, so it was very good to have Guts there to catch her. Another big thing, though, is that the Band of the Hawk are going to, attempt to rescue Griffith.
Now, they're setting out.
Now, the thing is that they kind of have to succeed in order for Griffith to become king. But the thing is like, there's all this other stuff going on in the background,
Yeah, there was that little thing with like the Behelit floating down the river and Mr. Snick,
some kind of monstrosity thing. So here's the thing, guys. We're coming up at that point where things will probably converge with the first episode, but just because things go well for Griffith, doesn't mean necessarily things will go well for others. All we know is that Guts makes it out of this okay-ish. He's he's haunted in the first episode.
Right.
He's got that brand thing. Yep. But he's also alone. So something goes wrong in some way. So looking forward to seeing what that is. But specifically with this whole rescue mission, them being fugitives and stuff, and there's not that many Band of the Hawk members left.
Right.
What's the plan? We can't just throw Guts into the fray with
tactical Guts.
Yeah, just have him just walk through everything. But
that would be cool.
But we need to be a little bit snackier, Alright, guys, looking forward to this episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is just Griffith, right? Wow. Ain't nobody got time for. Oh, they're being really sneaky. Oh, never mind. Is this a nightmare? Please tell me this is a nightmare. Holy crap. What the heck? Holy crap. That's the narrator. That's the freaking narrator.
Does sound like it.
So your kin. There's one up there, one over there, one over there, one there. One looks like a Medusa. Okay, so shut up. I already theorized here. Shut up. You distract me. So those are the devils that will descend.
Okay.
They're unable to be here.
All
right. Those rejectamenta little gross demon fetuses,
things,
ugh. But they're communicating to Griffith because Griffith is their chosen spawn or something like that. Because they said, we are your kin.
Yeah, that is a very interesting choice.
And they called him Prince. So it's he's the...
Well, and what they call him Prince of again? It was the
little things. They're like, oh, Prince, we are honored to be in your presence.
Right.
Ugh. Yeah. Guys, this is...
Torture will
not
do some
good.
Crazy things to the mind.
No, that's... Jacob, those things look like Behelits. That was... Cool.
The squad.
神経臭いところに確かな情報だ。
あった。
廃業だな。
ピピ。
I need you to move this because you're so strong. Wow. Big boy Pippin.
間違いない。行くぞ。
ちょっと待った。ピピンや柔道はともか大将のおめえ自らのやっぱりまずいんじゃねえのか。
Guts, are you being a little bit overly protective now because of reasons?
心配しているんだろうお前。冗談じゃない。剣の腕ならあの二人より私の方が上なんだ。上官の指示には従え。私がお前の背中ぐらい守れるってこと。
Like, are you sure there's not a double entendre there?
All I need Pippin to say at some point is like, the sexual tension is so thick. like, I can actually pass through it.
Griffith, お前はいつも上を見つめていた。上り詰めること、飛び続けること以外は何も意に介さない。高みを望み、一人飛び続ける鷹。お前は俺たちが這い回る地面には絶対に降り立つことがない。勝ち続け、奪い続け。
グリフィスはお前がいなきゃダメなんだ。
もしそうなら俺は。しっかりしろ。もうすぐグリフィスが帰ってくるんだ。ミケルト、水が足りない。
分かった。
グリフィスが戻ってきたらよ。ああ、無敵の鷹の団子復活よ。
Oh no, the snake thing in the forest. Please don't.
が帰ってくるんだもんな。グリフィスさえ戻ってくれば。
I'm so nervous right now. What? Is that like a fairy? It is. Yeah. Whoa.
見た。間違いない。今のは。敵襲。こんな時に。
Oh god, it's quiet
もう
now.
少しでグリフィスが戻ってくるっていうのに、こんなところで終わってたまるか。
What the heck?
みんなどこ行った？
逃げろ。逃げろ。リケルト。
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Crap. No, Rickert.
こんなものいるはず。
Why is everything turning red? Oh my gosh. And the fairy is just to watch? Or to guide them? What the heck? What the heck?
こんな抜け道よく見つけたもんだな。
内通者の使いだ。使いのものです。鷹の団のキャスカで。
シャルロット姫様だ。
夜明
Gotcha.
けまで時間がありませんが監禁されている場所へ。ここからは私たちだけで。
That's a cool shot. Looks like they're about to go like take a dungeon, you know, like a D&D
Yeah.
kind of setup.
I mean, it is literally a dungeon. Like,
That's just so sexy. Like every time Judo like just throws his knives, I'm just like,
yeah, boy.
yeah,
He's in a
the
dungeon.
He's in the lowest dungeon.
一筋の光もない真の身を浸してもうどれだけの時が過ぎたのか。
Wow, Griffith. Holy crap.
何も感じない。
Oh. That's
彼らが
his
宙を
old
漂って
helmet.
いるようだ。
Yeah.
正気を保っているのだろうか。
Does he have a semblance of sanity?
それと
Uh-huh.
とうの昔に。だがもかもがうつろな中で一つだけ鮮明。
Okay. Cuts to guts.
あいつだけが世を切り裂く雷のように
Whoa.
鮮烈に俺の中に浮かび上がってくる。繰り返し津波
In
の
a
ように
in a
押し寄せる
positive way or a negative way? Oh.
友愛、
Oh, okay, so it's a mix. Gotcha.
悔しさ、
That makes sense. That makes
虚し
sense.
さ、愛おしさ、
Yeah.
切なさ、それら全てが巨大な渦となり消え入りそうな意識をくさびとなってつなぎ止める。身の中に封じ込める原因となったあいつが今唯一命をつなぐ糧となっている。
Wait, how does he know that?
いつからだ。
It's just a guess.
Whoa. Yeah. Talking about fate and free will and stuff.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Move the torch around. Get closer to the center. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and he's emaciated. No,
oh yeah, he's
like nothing but skin and bones. Wow.
Yeah.
I get a real like Man in the Iron Mask kind of feel. Like they probably fused that helmet like onto his face. Wow.
Tongue's cut out.
Tongue's cut out. Holy crap.
Yep.
So he can't even speak. Okay, it's not fused to his. Oh, they didn't shave his hair. What did they do? Oh, buddy. Whoa. He's trying to kill him. Jeez. Oh.
Yeah.
Let this be enough. Let this be enough. Save him from his madness. Come on. Oh. Crap. Wait,
the torturer.
Pippin, smash.
てめえかグリフィスをこんな体にしたのかその通りだよ私ほどの拷問のプロフェッショナルになると上の美しさだけでなく
I would step about 5 feet away from the door, my friend.
美しささえ理解でき彼は本当に綺麗だったよ扉の厚みは2人の4倍はあるんだから
This sword is 3 times thicker and heavier than. Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez. Get off my sword.
Yep.
Well, saw that coming.
しっかりとついてこいよ
This is what I do best, guys. Get out of my way.
You're all lined up, single file. It's so convenient.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're gonna start running.
One of the problems with crossbows is that they take so long to reload.
Oh my gosh. 30? The 100-man slayer.
They're not actually true.
Yeah, of course. If it was true, they would say he's the 300-man slayer.
Yeah.
Wait. That'd be really bad for us still. Oh my gosh. He's so pissed.
Oh yeah. One might say he's starting to go berserk.
Yeah.
You done goofed.
He's like, yes, that's true.
That's very true.
I admire his... Wow. Yep.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Guys.
It's like you almost feel bad for them.
Yeah. They'll be back. Yep.
Like a bloody stream almost.
Oh. Guys, like, don't talk to me.
I have a lot of pent-up rage and aggression right now.
Yeah, his eyes are all small and looking at nothing but like focused.
Making his ears like more angular and everything.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, they banging.
Whoa. That look. That's the hawk look. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Griffith's lost it. Because he's looking at them with, like, contempt. Wow.
Yep.
Oh, crap. Cavalry.
It almost reminds me of an earlier episode where they were getting chased by cavalry, and if only they had guts.
Oh, crap. Oh, my gosh, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so they teased us at the beginning with, like, dark, like, just...
There were tentacles,
stuff.
like, yeah.
Then the Band of the Hawks, like, wounded and their camp, along with Rickert, they're all done. Like, they're done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, if they just happened to be unlucky because, like, they were all in the forest, and basically the countryside is already being ravaged by the creatures, essentially, that are descending.
Or they smelled the blood of the wounded or something like that.
But what I'm getting the vibe of is that these are not the devils that descend, because the eclipse thing hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
So, these are something else. Like, they're just like, you know, like monsters or something.
Maybe they were already here and, like, hibernating or something.
Yeah. Like the question is, like, Zod.
Right, like some other form of Zod.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Well,
they rescued Griffith.
They rescued Griffith. Knew it was going to work. So that's good.
But now they need to rescue his heart.
They need to rescue his sanity. So he brought up the whole idea of, like, am I still sane? Like, he has.
I'm not sure.
He's capable of focused singular thought.
Right.
So he is able to focus on guts.
Right.
And the thing is that that's not necessarily a good thing. Because if he's focusing...
It could be. Like, but...
Of course, Jacob. But the point is that Guts was the person that left. Guts was the most important person to him as well.
Yep.
So you have a mixed feeling of betrayal, like feeling betrayed, love, you know, a whole bunch of just mixed feelings. And I'm glad that they brought that up.
Yes.
But the thing is that these things that came in the dungeon, there's no way they would bring that up to have it all just be a fake, you know, hallucination dream thing. I could see it if it was just those little red things.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
Some
that
sort
was
of product of his insanity or whatever.
Yep. But the minute those things started speaking, and then the four other voices
things,
or whatever. Now, there was only one voice.
Right. And it sounded like the narrator.
Now, I don't think we've seen anything that could be connected to them. Now, I think there were four. I could have missed. Oh, okay. Yeah. There were more than four. Okay. One looked a little bit like a Medusa, which seemed like kinda. Okay. So maybe these are like, so when I think about these things, I'm just kind of go through the episode linearly, and that's why I was focused on this in the beginning. Zod has this whole like ritual kind of ordeal that he's planning to coincide with the eclipse. So it's, you know, celestial bodies aligning and summoning the summoning hell and whatever, all that. The thing is though, Zod is kind of like a vanguard. You know, he's they're called apostles.
Right.
He's someone that was sent. Now, I want to draw a distinction between Zod, potentially the monsters, because they might have been already here, but they may not have been sent.
Sure.
See the difference there? What I get the vibe from is that whenever you have some kind of interdimensional, transdimensional beings, they muck with the physical world. They just do it because they can, and
whatever reasons can vary. Yeah.
One of the main ways that they muck with it is they end up leaving some kind of spawn of
Okay.
themselves
Sure.
there. And the spawn is not pure, as you can see where I'm going with this. Now, I'm going to tie this into Griffith pretty quickly here, is
Okay.
that I think that when they mentioned the whole thing of like, oh, Prince,
Yeah, and
and then
creepy
they're like,
voice.
you are of our kin. That literally puts a family lineage, and if this is the king, like if the voice is the king, or like a royal like devil or whatever,
Yeah.
then they're literally saying Griffith is basically like
The demon prince or
the
whatever.
demon prince, like the son of the devil. Like now there's some weird religious kind of connotations there, but
Oh, sure,
there's some
absolutely.
there's some other stuff that's a little bit more interesting. So Griffith is for all intents and purposes human.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, Zod, if you were just to look at him,
Well,
no,
Yeah.
he looks more human than Snek, or
Well, right,
than any
yeah.
of those other monsters.
like
there.
you could tell that there was like he was not human, but he wasn't a full blown like minotaur.
right.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Zod had a form that he put on to hide
Yes.
amongst the
The humans.
the humans.
Yeah.
Griffith is the prince of these guys. Griffith might actually be something that's not fully human. The reason
Gotcha.
why Griffith might have all this intelligence, this charisma, all these qualities
Sure.
about him that make him greater than the average man. He's
Uh-huh.
special. There's all
Yeah.
this. He might be the closest, maybe, experiment that they had to creating a spawn
Okay.
that's the most human-like that they could have.
Gotcha.
And maybe all these other monsters are just failed experiments and stuff.
And he's like the perfect Cylon. or
Griffith
something
is
like
the
that.
perfect Cylon. He's the perfect experiment. He's
Gotcha.
he's the chosen one. He's basically the one that will enact their grand plan, and they need him in order to to come.
Okay.
Otherwise, they can just communicate like via intermediary
Sure. Yeah.
or something like that.
They need him to be the anchor to open the gate or whatever.
Sure, or
some
whatever.
hoopty-ha
Yeah.
stuff.
The thing though that
Interdimensional planar travel.
Right, right. The thing though that makes sense as being the final piece though, beyond just Griffith being potentially one of their spawn, is this thing. Now the thing is that this thing is not with Griffith right now.
No, it is not.
So the one thing that I'm like kind of worried about is that when the monsters went and took the Band of the Hawk camp,
Yeah.
it's like, oh well, crap.
Right.
So they're either dead or they're captured or whatever.
Who knows?
But who knows? The point is that
Most of them seem just eaten.
yeah.
Yeah.
The point is that they things are going to go very wrong very quickly in certain areas. But
Sure.
the thing is that those beings had access to Griffith just because probably of who he is. So who's to say that they couldn't, interdimensional travel the Bahamut, and one of them over there gives it to their god or something, and then they deposit it basically with Griffith. Basically, the thing is that they have a homing beacon on Griffith, and look who's surrounding Griffith right now.
Gotcha.
Basically, it's going to come down to a battle of interdimensional demons versus guts. And see, the thing is, I don't know if that's going to be a battle a big sword can win you. Now, I think he has
Swords are of no more use.
right. I think there's a chance in that
His sword is very big.
well, right, but remember how I talked about previously, there's probably a risk involved with them coming here. They're probably safe from any kind of physical harm, because most demons like that are immortal and stuff. But the thing is, Zod could have died, probably. Not, it wasn't likely or anything.
Or at the very least, Guts did manage to cut down the snake in episode 1.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah.
So what I'm guessing is that there's levels to these devils.
Sure.
Yeah, as intentional.
Yeah.
But I think Zod is probably one of the ones that's the most physically capable. That's why he was sent as a vanguard. But the others, they had more of the vibes of the caster. You know, this is when we'll get into this is when we get into the thing where it becomes a fantasy, like weird dark magic and like ugh.
Yeah, tentacles and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So things aren't looking good. Hopefully hopefully things mostly work out there. But yeah, that's probably the way things will escalate to the larger conflict and what have you. But anyways, Griffith is losing his mind, or has lost his mind, is barely holding on to his grip on sanity.
Right, and every part that they do with Griffith here, it's so good. Like you've heard me say at length how I love when they communicate things, when stories communicate things without dialogue, without words, right? It's that whole show rather than tell thing.
There's a lot of monologuing.
There was a lot of internal monologue as far as Griffith going, thinking about things and stuff.
Right,
and that's great too.
Yeah,
but like the things where he's like reaching his hand up towards like Guts's neck,
sure,
and Guts just like hugs him, and the hand just sort of limply falls. It's just like wow, like and
I think the problem here with this whole thing is that when we hit our lowest point, we're open for the greatest change, and that's not always a good thing. And I think that Griffith in this state is one that we know he has to survive. But the thing is, the more and more we look at how the story is going, like the only real like thing we know about Griffith is that he's alive.
Yeah.
Like, we technically didn't even see him in the first episode. We don't know if he's like an installed puppet by like these really devils and stuff who are like actually in control, and Griffith is like, yes, he was the great, savior of
he's
of
the
Midland.
Sort of pseudo martyr champion,
right
face for their whole thing.
Yeah. And like maybe that's the thing, is that then they have an intermediary by which to communicate with the people and stuff, because there's probably going to be the thing of like, well, they can't just like these devil things or whatever, the demons, or
they can't just say, hey everybody.
Yeah, they can't just walk up and be like, yo, we're in charge now, or we're gonna do things this way. It's like, no, we have our first stage of the plan, which is to get here.
Right,
and
establish some form of control, make it behind the scenes so that humanity doesn't all unite against us or something like that.
Right, exactly. I do think the reason why Guts alone is a threat to them is not just because he has a big freaking sword and stuff. It's because he knows things about them, like he's encountered them in the past, like
with Zod.
Yes, like with Zod, like he's steeled himself against like just the fear of seeing a monstrosity like that. So like, imagine if an army of 1,000 men saw Zod bearing down on them in his true form. They just turn tail and run.
Oh yeah,
like that alone.
Like how do you fight something?
How do you fight something like that?
I mean, like
exactly.
Your best bet is like, okay, like let's get 5 battalions of archers. Well, yeah, or ballistae too.
Yeah.
Just keep firing. Just keep firing.
There's 1,000 meat shields. Sorry, guys, most of you are going to die.
Yeah.
Ready the ballistae,
and then we just cannons. Like they do have cannons in this world. So.
They do have cannons. That's true. So I don't think that all is lost, but basically, like, we're about to move into the White Walker conflict, so to speak.
Exactly.
Like, this is basically the Game of
analogy.
Thrones transition where, swords are no more use here, but it's going to be more about like the fate free will thing. Like maybe on some level, where we're going to get a little bit more mechanical with that, because this whole thing seems to have been kind of fated to happen, or at the very least it's orchestrated around Griffith
Yeah.
To the point where even probably when things went askew for their plan, they had enough control to course correct it. And, you know, like with Griffith in particular, I think that he would be one to rage against that. One, because I think he hates the idea that Guts took control of his life because of his connection to Guts.
Right.
Basically, that he almost gave his life to Guts because of how much he valued him. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm trying to find a way to describe positively how Griffith loved and cherished and appreciated Guts so much that he stopped maybe thinking about his own life as rationally as he could. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
Because
I mean, but that could also just be tied to his dream, too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but, like, yeah, Griffith screwed up for sure. But I really... Oh, man, we can't have a conversation between them now. Holy crap.
His tongue's literally been cut out.
Yeah, let's go to Griffith. Okay, Griffith is broken. He's so broken.
Oh, yeah.
And his first thing when he saw Guts was he tried to kill him. And he realized how physically weak he was and he couldn't do it. Guys, Griffith's gone. Like this is where I'm still like extra confused. Like, we have Griffith being king. Now imagine king over a kingdom that has monsters running freely around there.
Yeah.
So that doesn't bode well. Probably
not much of a king at
that
point.
Not much of a good king at that point.
Right. Well, or even like a powerful king, like, you know, because it's like, are you really king, or, you know, again, are you just, you know, the puppet slave to these creatures that are just roaming around?
Yeah, I really fear for some kind of dominance over Griffith's mind. Basically, since we're getting into the whole, like, you know, there will probably be magic, some kind of dark magic involved coming up soon. Griffith is probably the kind of person who would most easily succumb to some kind of mental domination. And not even mental domination, just mental suggestion. Like maybe
so insanity is like gravity. All you
need is a little push. Basically, I'm looking forward to putting a face to the real evil here. The narrator,
right? Because they've conveniently not actually shown you the face. Really.
Well, they've basically also confirmed that the narrator's pondering and the whole hand thing on the ballot.
Yeah.
So this is like, you know, this is its Behelit, you know, like this is, you know, it's the, what's it called, the Crimson Behelit of the God Hand.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Like, it's all written there and proper nouns and everything. So the God Hand, like, is like the main main baddies or something like that. Like, maybe their group. That's a really cool name, actually. Like,
that is, yeah, like, it really is.
Like, I'm trying to think of like a way it could be.
And it throws a whole different kind of perspective onto the whole thing of is it like the hand of God hovering above, you know?
Well, maybe that's the thing, is that the way there's some silver lining in all of this is we're gonna think about how the things that communicated to Griffith through the brick, through the brick, but, you know, that communicated interdimensionally to his mind or what have you. They claim themselves to be like the God Hand or what have you. But maybe that's the real trick of it, is that they're claiming that because, you know, they're really powerful.
Sure.
But the whole idea of God or the hand of God is more or less a construct of their minds.
Okay.
Because I really reject the idea that the ultimate power in a fantasy universe is just like
some sort of evil thing,
some
or
kind
whatever.
Of evil,
right? Because
you know, because
then
horror kind of,
right? Because then there's always the question of why is humanity still here?
Why is humanity here?
Because
are we here for their entertainment?
Right, yeah, because, why hasn't the world just been completely destroyed and consumed in tentacles and blood?
Maybe it's a rebirth thing where it's not about like having some kind of linear progression towards an end or towards infinity and eternity. It's about having a cycle.
Well, and that's one of the big theories for like the White Walkers in Game of Thrones is that it's just part of the seasons.
Right, it's part of the cycle of just destruction, rebirth, and all that. I think though that what we can logically assume is that the narrator is the one speaking to Griffith.
Sure.
So there, at the very least, the God Hand. The Behelit was designed specifically for probably, this is a weird way to say it, but for his son, Griffith. And Griffith might not even be like aware of any of this or what have you. He's like the perfect experiment, and the stuff that they've got planned for this is basically like a grand, reunion. But it's more or less not just that. It's more or less a way for them to come down, because that's the vibe Zod gave me. Basically, like the entire show is that he's the vanguard of something more.
I am the harbinger.
Yes, I am the harbinger. Exactly. So it wouldn't make sense for it to be a thing where they're coming or they're opening something that will like unleash destruction. It seems like more they're opening something that will allow them to like coalesce on the material plane and like have more direct influence here. I mean, that's usually how these types of stories go. Is you want to summon the grand arch-evil of whatever to this plane so that they can enact their glorious will. And you have all these cultists that are like, yes. And I think it's basically just that Zod has maybe been manipulating, kind of pulling the strings to set an environment for things to go a certain way, but he wasn't even aware of maybe Griffith plus the Behelit and all that until he encountered them. So I think there's a lot that we're not really like privy to, like a lot of other things going on behind the scenes that will probably get revealed soon. But okay, enough about that. So they go to rescue Griffith. They're successful. Griffith has lost his mind for the most part. He's still there. He's still there.
That's one of the things I'm really glad about. In any kind of story, they could set this up as the, oh no, and now he's completely gone, kind of a thing. But they addressed that there was it was a swirling vortex of both positive and negative emotions, towards Guts.
In the darkness.
Right, in the darkness.
But there was one light that basically helped him retain a connection to himself.
Right, his identity. Who he was.
Yeah, exactly. Now, he needed intense emotion towards that light in order to actually hold on to it. But that's the thing. Maybe given some love, some affection, some reminders, some reunion with, Casca and
some
Guts
therapy.
Some therapy. Maybe we'll have time, but there's only 3 episodes left, so I doubt there will be enough. I doubt there will be enough. This is something that I feel like on some level, Griffith is the tragic kind of character of this story.
Sure.
Like, you can see how he was the one that should have been the main character.
Right.
Like, he was the one that was supposed to go the distance. Guts basically came along as a side character and stole the spotlight.
Right.
And I think Griffith is almost like aware of that.
Right. I used to be the main character, but now you seem to be the main character.
Yeah, and why is that?
Why
is that? And then he's going to question his fate, whether or not he had free will in this whole thing. And I think that's where he's either going to break or he's going to hold tightly again to his dream.
Right.
And that will be what brings him back. Now, the thing is, though, is that if that's the case, I think then that we have a little bit of a dissonance problem between the first episode and what's going to come, like, next.
Yeah.
Because then I think the first episode is way farther in the future. Like, way farther in the future. Not anytime soon. Like I do think, though, that the schism between Guts and Griffith has kind of already happened.
Sure. Okay.
But the thing is that do we know that the castle that Griffith was the king at or of, was that in Midland and Tudor?
I don't think they specified because they just mentioned that he was king, and I don't know if they said the name of the country.
Yeah.
But the castle that we saw the most of was for the snake guy, and that's just, a lord residing at a castle, for a specific area.
Right. Okay. Okay, then it gets a little bit hard to connect the dots when I try to go into the details surrounding Griffith. Griffith is still an enigma as to how his arc is going to continue.
Right.
Because he's going to live.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I don't get it. Like, how is he going to continue on without either like regaining some sanity, without like grasping really firmly to his dream again, but also with the Band of the Hawk completely now just these 4 or 5 now.
There were also the people that were waiting for them with the carriage. And stuff.
Okay, so there's 7 of them.
Well, yeah, I think there might be like 12.
Well, I mean, I think we basically just now got the reason as to why Guts was alone.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe basically like, everything goes, kind of, badly. They need to re-evaluate their strategy and stuff.
Right.
Griffith is, captured by these things or what have you. They set him up as their puppet king because, he's the chosen one and he's he's the prince of the God Hand and what have you. Blah, 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 blah. But like Guts knows like he has to like save Griffith.
Right, really save him.
Like
kind of
really
thing.
save him. But the thing is that there might have been some time between like that whole thing where like maybe the only way he can save Griffith is by killing him.
Oh.
Because when he was going to the castle, like he was going to kill him. Like he was going after him. Like
that did seem to be it. Yeah.
Like I'm going to put an end to this. And it's not like he was actually looking like full of hatred. It was more like he was sad. Like because Guts in the beginning, he looks like he's carrying this heavy burden that no one else is going to help him carry.
Right.
And
no one should have to.
And no one should have to. Yeah, exactly. Like it's just way too much. And he just looks sad. He looks broken. And I think that maybe seeing his friend go through so much torture and so much,
see the unbreakable person break,
just
kind
break,
of thing.
Breaks him, and now he has to basically save him by just putting an end to his madness.
Crazy, and like, because when you think about it, like with where everything is at right now, right? Guts went and found his own dream, right? He decided to live for himself and all that stuff, and he's got.
And he didn't really find a goal.
He just
decided to live for himself.
Exactly, right.
And that's good. That's a start.
But it's a start. Whereas with Griffith, where he's at right now, he's kind of forgotten about his dream.
I don't know if he has.
Oh, yeah?
Like I think that might be the only thing besides Guts that he could latch onto. But the dream itself is something that's like unattainable, now. Like it's just something that like
right. Yeah. Oh.
Okay. So, there was a moment that was Casca and Guts having a little bit of a. I can watch your back. And we had Judo.
No. She specifically said, "I can cover your back."
Oh, right. And then Judo and Pippin chuckled
and just sort of looking at her like,
like that was the perfect tension breaker for the episode.
Yeah,
this episode
was a heavy episode,
right? But it feels like a build-up episode for a darker, upcoming set of episodes. So. I really appreciated the humor.
Just throwing that little bit in there.
The thing was, though, is that it was a build-up, I think, also to the knowledge that Guts and Casca have more, have a lot of PDA going on. Now, here's the thing. Griffith when he saw the PDA, he didn't look happy.
That's true.
He looked like he looked at Foss, like Minister Foss.
It was similar.
He gave a weaker version of the Hawkeye, basically. Like, the Hawkeye with Foss was one of the most intense and brilliant ones we've ever seen. Yeah. Like, that one was terrifying.
And the fact that it was all just to make him scared of Griffiths, to intentionally force his hand so that way he could just go to him later and be like, so what's up?
But the thing is with this, because Guts is basically the only thing he can see, I am very worried about Griffith's emotional state being one where he wants to like he wants to find some way to basically like there's this worry I have in the back of my mind, very slight worry I have in the back of my mind that Griffith's already gone, like, completely, and the whole idea of him holding on to a slight bit is a bit of a stretch. The other reason why is because he's been in the dark for a year or so. But one of the things that the story very cleverly doesn't really express is Griffith was shocked and scared or what have you when he saw the things coming from the wall and all that. But there was nothing that indicated that was the first time that had happened. So, let's say Griffith is their pawn. Griffith is their...
And, like, he already is kind of a thing?
Well, not only he already is, but he's already been, like, whittled away by them while he was in the dungeon.
They were the only voices to, you know, solace him or whatever kind of a thing.
I doubt that that's the case. But I think that if like it comes down to a thing of basically like Guts, Casca, and the remnants of the Band of the Hawk, the demon devil things, the god hand, like them all just tugging on Griffith, both sides essentially vying for his will. You know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter who wins. Griffith will snap. Griffith will break. And I fear that basically, like, if we get any more of that, if we get any more influence from these things, Griffith's gone. Like, Griffith's not going to be able to resist. Like, he's not going to be able to focus.
He doesn't have any fight left in him.
He doesn't have any fight left in him, but he doesn't have any... He doesn't have enough positive association with others. Note, he doesn't care about Casca. Like, in his moment of weakness, the only thing that he could actually hold on to, it's not that he in his heart of hearts, like, doesn't care about Casca, but he could only hold on to one thing.
Right.
And he needed it to be one thing so that he could not let go.
Right, yeah.
And when you hold too tightly to something like that, and then something about it's basically like, let's say you put all of your identity in a relationship, like a girlfriend or something like that, but then that girlfriend slights you and starts to do things that you know, like, you know, that their betrayal of who you are. Now the thing is they might not actually be that horrible of things. Like, Guts.
It could just be something as simple as saying, I think we're on unequal terms with this relationship. I want to break up and go back to being friends.
Exactly. You know? And that's kind of what Guts and Griffith has. They had a little bit of a breakup, but it wasn't a thing of like, I don't hate you.
Right.
I just need to have some time away. And Griffith was like, no, you're mine. I own you. You are under my dominion.
He's the obsessive girlfriend. That, like...
but the thing is that, like, think about it this way. Griffith screwed up and put too much of his identity in Guts, and that's what he was realizing in the dungeon. So when he comes back, Griffith is mad at himself for making a mistake, but because he's insane right now, because he's lost it, he's projecting it out towards Guts, and then he's
already dealt with enough pain. He doesn't want to give himself any more to deal with.
Right, and then he sees that Guts in this time has...
Casca.
Well, moved on.
Oh.
I mean, like, literally, it's a relationship thing. It's the perfect tragedy of a love triangle that never was. Like, think about it this way. The one thing I was worried so much about this show was that there would be a love triangle, right?
I love Casca. No, I love Casca.
Right,
Casca, who do you choose?
Yeah, that crap. But instead, they basically are like, oh, you don't like love triangles? Well, here's what we're going to do.
We'll throw you for a spin.
We'll throw you for a spin.
You never would have seen
Have you
coming.
seen this kind of love triangle before? It's basically the kind of thing where... Well, I basically just explained it. I just explained it.
It's basically the bromance, right? And then the bro's like, bro, no, you're leaving the realm of being single.
Yep. Like, I thought we had something, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm
not the same
I'm
anymore.
making fun of this, but seriously, guys, like, this is the kind of thing that would, like, if Guts leaving did this much damage, Guts moving on from Griffith and being like, not only do I need time away from you, Griffith isn't able to see. This is all based on Griffith's perception.
Right,
because
exactly.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not what actually is going on. Like, let's be real. Like, Guts needs Griffith.
Oh, yeah. He cares about Griffith.
He came back
very
here
deeply.
and went crazy and went berserk and everything because he needs Griffith. Griffith can't see that.
Right.
So we could have some problems.
Yeah. And
that's basically all I wanted to say.
Yeah. And again, I think I mentioned this. I mentioned this already, but the fact that one, there's the fact that Griffith's first instinct was to reach for his neck, right, and try and strangle him. That just breaks my heart, right?
Yeah, it does
every time. But then there's the fact that he realizes that he can't even do that, and he gives up. Like the idea that even that, like that.
Yeah. He can't act on his negative emotions.
Right. Not even on his negative emotions.
Well, that's the thing though, is there were no tears from Griffith. There was no smile. There was nothing about Griffith that showed that he was happy to see Guts. Right. He just looked shocked. I think Griffith has just enough sanity to retain individuality.
Yeah, but I don't think he remembers how to be happy anymore. No, I don't think he remembers how to smile anymore.
No.
I don't think he's had enough water over the past year to even have his body make tears.
Yeah, that's true. That's possible. And
then the whole thing of
I can't rectify basically the first episode in this. Like I totally know what you mean. I am still shook with how things are developing towards a negative way of things. And this is all on the backdrop, guys, that like the Band of the Hawk is done. Like there are 7 of them.
90% of them were just slaughtered. Yeah. Like Rickard is dead.
Like, here's the thing. I mean, we didn't see them actually kill them and stuff. But I think that might actually be... Berserk is dark, right? But there might actually be a little bit of censoring going on.
Possibly,
I noted that...
Because Rickard's a kid,
Well, yeah, I noted that they didn't really have any trouble showing, like, nudity from Casca. But I noted that it was actually really weird. They would cut the camera angles off like before they would show like Griffith's like butt or anything like that. I was like, they showed it and stuff. They showed it and stuff, but I was noticing, I'm like, wait a minute, like, oh, that's a little bit weird. But then like when they could have shown like a lot more
guts,
basically guts and gore from the Band of the Hawk getting attacked by these monsters and stuff. They didn't. So I wonder if Berserk, because people have told me that like the manga like is less censored. So that means in some level the anime is a little bit censored. Now I don't know what parts are where are censored or what have you, but like I could very much see the idea of them killing Rickard by like, a monster just tearing him apart or something like that. That might be a little bit more than what the show was
like they showed Guts stabbing the kid, when he killed Julian or Julius.
Right, but he didn't like dismember the
Right,
kid.
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit more tragic if you get to see the kid be alive for a couple seconds while Guts has him stabbed and stuff.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
then again, Berserk is Berserk is a dark fantasy, so they don't really have to do that. Maybe
like Berserk is
maybe
like the
Rickert,
best definition of grimdark in my mind. Like,
yeah, definitely. But maybe Rickert, maybe Rickert is alive. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe the fairy had a change of heart. Like,
that's the thing that freaked me out. Okay, guys, hold on. So remember when they're like, "Oh, this stuff is fairy dust. You rub it on your wounds, you're okay." So what I was thinking, I was like, "Wait, fairies are generally good." So, I mean, there are some fae creatures of sorts that they're not.
I mean,
good.
fae creatures. Anytime the word fae is dropped, like just don't trust them.
Don't trust them. Yes, they're generally more along the lines of neutral.
Sure.
They don't really care
a
about.
lot of times chaotic.
Sure, but the point is that they don't care really about morality. They just they're like, oh, we just do our thing. We just do what we want.
Yep.
So when I heard about the fairy dust thing, I was like, okay, well, I guess then there's some things out there that are good magical beings that counteract the idea of having a Zod out there.
Even if they're conveniently the much smaller things.
Yeah, but the point is that we don't know how powerful they could be.
Sure. Yeah.
They could be the ones that are actually in control of fate.
Yeah, they're keeping the God Hand or whatever at bay, and
right. They could be going around and like doing little things that create a semblance of fate, but like it's a fate that makes it seem like they're doing okay, like the bad guys, the God Hand is like in control or what have you, but it's actually like, oh no, you don't know. There's a secret, like that they've got things kind of protected and stuff. But no, forget that. The fairy was just like, well, this is curious. Oh, yeah, well, interesting.
Like, and see, that's why I hate any kind of like fake creatures almost any time in any story usually.
Wait, specifically this scene or
no, but this is an example of that,
gotcha.
Where it's just like
why
they all just seem to be dicks like
this was kind of a dick move. The worst part about it was the fairy let itself be seen, probably, but like, okay, so it's kind of like, look, a human. Look at my beauty. Yes, and now I'm gonna go away. And then it's like, that's interesting. It's just like, it's the high, low.
Right.
It's like, it's intentionally like being like, this is going to create some lovely despair. Oh, yes.
The way you're rubbing the
Yes,
belly,
I know what I'm doing. Like, this thing is like the... But okay, guys. Like, I'm ready.
Yep.
We're not at the finale yet. There's still 3 episodes, so a lot can happen. Right. Looking forward to a lot happening.
Oh, the other thing that I have to mention
mention.
Yes, when Guts takes off the helmet, because at first,
he says this is not Griffith.
Right, because when I first watched this show, right, and I got to that part, and I'm like, oh snap! Like I thought they had basically like fused the helmet to Griffith's head, sort of Man in the Iron Mask thing, right? But then Guts opens it, and they don't actually show Griffith's face, but he's like, this isn't Griffith, and he's like, stay back, and he closes it.
Oh, he closed it, you're right.
And like, so, it's one of those things of, again, like, the unknown, the showing even without showing, where it's just like, oh, man, what?
I completely forgot about
things
that.
that Griffith had done to him, like, leave it up to your imagination.
Guts. What a good guy, though, to not, like, let... Casca or any others see that. Like Guts is kind of the one that's had to do things for Griffith that the others probably wouldn't be able to stomach as much, or just some other things where they'd be like, hey, I have some questions about that. But also Guts is the only one that's now seen Griffith for, in a way,
in his current state,
like who or what he really is right now.
Gotcha.
Like that. Like it's not that he was beaten. It's that this is no longer Griffith. Like Guts is kind of in a meta way telling us as the viewers, Griffith is gone. Like this is not Griffith. But the thing is that he said it in so much anger and so much frustration that I think the others didn't clue in as to like, okay, so something's wrong with his face. But they didn't clue in that Guts basically, maybe even subconsciously determined, we didn't rescue Griffith. It was too late. Like basically,
Possibly.
and then
that would explain why he went into such
berserk.
a frenzy.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Is that he's doing this now because it's the only thing he can do. Like at the very least, he's like, maybe there's some way we can save him afterwards. But I think he looked into the face of basically like a broken, beaten man, and I can only imagine what you can do to someone's face with
with a year and some
like,
creativity,
fire, metal, and ingenuity.
Yep. Well, and the idea that it's like, you know, Griffith was always that you know, that bastion, that paragon, and just like, oh my gosh, art thou human, you know, and now it's just like,
I get the vibe that the metal, well, no, he would have no reflective surfaces to see himself. No. I was thinking that the way the mask could have been put on him was to make him kind of forget himself. But then again, it's so dark he wouldn't be able to see himself anyway. Yeah. But then I was wondering, like, how is he getting fed? Like, how is he drinking water? Like, maybe there'd be one point.
Well, there is like the mask. The mask does, you know, have an opening for the mouth.
For the mouth, it's
right, it's supposed to look like a hawk, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Okay, guys, like this is a crazy development. I feel like the dots are connecting though with the whole evil thing. I feel like I'm literally like right on the edge of like everything either unraveling or me like figuring everything out.
Gotcha.
That scene in the first bit of the episode in some ways feels so big that it overshadows a lot of what happened in this episode. That
the thing
was really
with the brick?
Good. Yeah, the thing with the brick.
Like, no, I totally know what you mean.
In terms of exposition, in terms of like info dumping, within like 40 seconds, basically, they unraveled literally almost everything I came to understand about why, like, all of this stuff was happening. So if they can do that in that short amount of time,
they still have 3 episodes.
Yeah, and I think if that's something that they're going to delve deeper into, like, I haven't even grasped the surface of like what could be like coming next. So, guys, fantastic stuff. If you want to see the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.